Hidely ho there, neighbors. I hope you're doing well. I am doing okay. Got my haircut and everything today. Not much, mind you, but some. I'm actually, I'm in a weird situation because my internet's being super bizarre tonight. So there's no telling if this is going up when I record it. I plan on posting it on the 19th, but your guess is as good as mine as to whether or not it'll actually go up. I guess you'll find out when you watch this. Hey, you may watch this a year later, and it won't mean a difference to you. But, yeah, Comcast, internet, business class even. Download speeds, fine. Upload speeds, not so much. Not tonight. So, there's no telling whether or not this will go up. So, that said, I'm going to go forward like it is. Now, I am going to do a quick little crowdfunding roundup. Now, crowdfunding roundup is where I start talking about nifty things that I like that are currently getting crowdfunded. I'm going to talk about a couple of things, a couple of kickstarters for things I think are worthy of your time, money, and interest. One is it's Karthun. So, Karthun is done by this guy who how to explain? So there's a comic out there called D20 Monkey. And it's about gaming, obviously, D20 Monkey, duh. And he sort of came up with this campaign world that he's been actually showing pieces of in his comic. Which, not unusual. I think Order of the Stick does something similar. What's interesting, first off, his art is actually really good. It's very cartoony, but it's well done cartoony, and that's worthy of note. And the world looks interesting and compelling. So he partnered up with someone, and they've decided to create it as a campaign world, which I think is awesome. Honestly, I think it's a really neat idea. The campaign world looks super high fantasy, lots of just enormous stuff going on. And I think it's well worth your time to check out. Go to the Kickstarter, which I'll include a link somewhere in here, either in the show notes or maybe on the screen if I get creative and the internet works for me. And you should go check it out because it gives you all kinds of nifty stuff. And it looks like a world I want to come into existence. I want this to be a thing that exists out in the world. And it looks like he's going for not just D&D, though clearly D&D is an inspiration for him, but also Fate Core, Pathfinder, Savage Worlds, the 13th Age, stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be a multi-system campaign world, and I think Karthun, Land of Conflict, worth your time. Okay? Now, I've stated that one. Now here's one that is near and dear to my heart. I have the original version of Feng Shui on my shelves. I loved Feng Shui. It's a great idea. It changed how I thought about NPCs, honestly. It changed how I thought about, it was certainly not the first game I ever came across that talked about things being more narrative in how you deal with things, but it was certainly one of the early ones. And it was certainly one of the early ones to sort of seep into my consciousness. They have things like you have different rules for mooks. And so you know, if a named villain shows up, he's harder to kill than the 10,000 nameless guys he shows up with. And this is very much a narrative rule kind of idea. This notion that, well, it's not interesting for every nameless minion to be tough to kill. You want your heroes to feel like they could go through, you know, bags and bags of them. You know, crunch all you want, we'll make more. But you want them to feel the challenge when it's important. And that's when you get the named villains. Once they have names, they have different stats. And that's a really neat idea. And it made it into 4th edition to a certain extent. The Minion rules, 4th edition. Several other games have used it since. But I think this is one of the first ones where that idea was put forward. And I loved it. It's an idea about playing two tropes. Playing two sort of action movie ideas and action movie archetypes, and the physics of action movies, which is to say, you don't work on the game system is not designed to reflect real world fighting and real world anything. Honestly, it's designed to reflect the style of combat and interactions that you see in an action movie. Why am I talking about a game that's been out for decades? Tell you why. They're making a new one. Feng Shui 2 is coming out. Feng Shui 2. How could you not like Feng Shui 2 if you already loved Feng Shui? Ramen Laws is doing a thing to raise money for it. Already hit goal. Actually, Karthun also already hit goal. So everything that goes into it at this point, it is just, you know, adding gravy, basically. And to give you an idea of the popularity of Feng Shui, yeah, they set their goal at 8,000 to produce the book. They're at 75,000 now. So there's that. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be talking about this game and be excited about this game, and with good reason. The original game really helped define a lot of new ideas for games. I'm sure somebody before him tried some of these ideas, but it was certainly the first time I had ever actually had them sort of seep into my consciousness. And I really, really loved it for that. And I love action movies. When I talk about role-playing games, I talk about the scene in the context of how it looks in the movie in my head. You know, I'm not really all that interested in reflecting, you know, real combat, because real combat is unpleasant. It is. It's a scary thing. Anybody who's actually been in combat doesn't want to go back. Well, except for the few people, and they're usually psychos. And I mean that in the psychological sense, psychopaths, not in the sort of derogatory, general crazy person term. And then there are the people who have never been in combat who think that it's somehow noble and great and wonderful. It's not. It's bloody, unpleasant, and almost never fair. Just going to put that out there. But in action movies, it can be. And the whole basis for Feng Shui is to reflect that action movie style. And specifically, Hong Kong action flicks are a major influence here. So you'll have, you know, the various monks who fight from, you know, with different martial arts styles, paired up with, you know, the gun nut who, you know, is insane sort of John Woo gun crazy stuff. Compared, you know, shared with, you know, the average guy hero, like you see Jackie Chan do, and a bunch of other character tropes that you probably see in a lot of Western action films as well. So it's definitely a big thing. They also have an element of time travel, so you could end up with your, average guy, firefighter dude who ends up going back to the Boxer Rebellion and fighting in the Boxer Rebellion against demonic cyborgs from the future. There's some wackiness in the setting as well. So I'm going to recommend Karthun, Land of Conflict, and of course Feng Shui 2. Now, those are my current Kickstarter, hey guys, you should go check this out. If you can think of others, let me know. I missed some. It's possible. It's happened. Not often, but it happens. So, yeah, let me know if you can think of any that need to happen. I am currently working on a couple of projects. I'm still working on my game. I am also coming up with an episode where I talk about superhero gaming, which I have thoughts, and I want them organized and cohesive, and not me just sort of rambling at you. So there's that. But anyway, I'm going to call it here. I hope I can post this tonight. If not, I'll post it tomorrow. And apologize. But my internet's being freaky right now. Because, like I said, no upload. Like, almost no upload speed. It's all download. I have no idea why. So, there's that. Anyway, subscribe, like, share with all the people. Try and stay out of trouble, especially you. Yes, you. You know who I'm talking to. Okay. Don't make me come over there. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.